Hey guys, today I wanted to do a vlog on probably not the most happy topic, and it's certainly personal to me, which is why I've got my hamster here for moral and emotional support. But I wanted to talk about bullying. Bullying. I've always thought that bullying was kind of a weird word because it just sounds weird, but it also, I think people have different ideas of what bullying is, right? I mean, you might be bullying somebody and you don't realize it. But I guess for me, I think about bullying, whether it's, somebody just picking on you for being different, all the way up to like physical assault. I mean, there's such a wide range. I feel like it really comes down to intimidation, right? Making someone feel small or different or weird or isolated. And, I've thought about doing this video a couple of times because it comes up, right? I meet a lot of people, and sometimes it feels like I'm hearing a lot of similar stories from people who are picked on by people that care about them, or they're getting picked on at school, or they're hiding their doll collection. And just recently I found out that a very young and very sweet friend of mine that I've met through YouTube was going through some difficulties. And I actually heard about this. I got an email from her mom while I was traveling, because I travel for work all the time, and it just upset me, right? I was just so upset. And it's not like I've even met this girl in person, but you feel, just as a fellow doll collector and just a great person, like, why would anybody pick on this person, right? Why would you single this person out and pick on them? And I do tend to get like, I go Hulk. I go like Ange Hulk. Like, I'm ready to beat somebody up. Not that I would, but I just want to protect. And I realized that it's affected me personally for so many years that being in the doll hobby, it's just kind of brought some of that back, right? I mean, I went through it as a kid. I want to talk about that just a little bit. And then you grow up, you get stronger, or you find a way to cope, you forget about that stuff, and then you just move on, you become an adult or whatever. And just being able to meet so many young, fantastic, wonderful people, it bothers me that this still happens. And I guess it's in some ways human nature. We're scared of what doesn't seem to be like us, or we need to pick on somebody to make ourselves feel better. Anyway, I'm not going to sit here and try to justify it, but I'm going to try not to ramble too much, but I got a lot to say. And I'm like squishing my hamster's head. What I want to do is just share a little bit about my personal experience. Not easy, but I'm going to do it. And then I want to share with you, if you are going through something like this, some of the things that I've done or kind of put into my mind to think about so that you don't feel like you're alone, because you're not alone. All right, so let me start with, I guess, the most extreme bullying that I encountered, which was, I think I was probably between 6 and 9. I mean, kids just don't know how to control them. I mean, kids can just be so mean, and it kind of comes out of nowhere, and you don't even realize you've done something to be different. Well, I think I just showed up in a town being the only Asian kid, and that was enough for me to have a target on my back. And I used to get beat up a lot. I mean, yes, the taunts, right? I got Asian jokes and people making fun of how I looked and stuff all the time. I didn't understand it, but that kind of escalated. I think because the taunts, the verbal taunts, didn't seem to affect me. It kind of escalated. These kids got upset, and they would chase me around. I mean, I came home with no shoes. I mean, I came home once with poison ivy. Like, my face was all swollen up, and I was so angry, right? I would get so angry about it, but I was also so embarrassed, right? There's something about being bullied that makes you feel very alone. And it's embarrassing to tell your friends. It's certainly embarrassing to tell like your parents or guardians or adults. You know, it's easy to think, oh, I must be doing something wrong, or I must be such a dork that, you know, I must stick out so badly. I'm doing something wrong. And that is not the case. But I'll tell you that the anger that I held inside very quietly, it didn't get better. It got worse and worse. And I'll tell you that when I got off the bus at the end of the day, sprig of poison ivy in my hair, my outfit's all stained, and my mom is like, what are you doing? And I'd just be like, nothing, Mom, nothing. Or I'm sorry. It really manifested itself for me in a very bad way. And I actually started to take that anger out on like my little sister or my best friend. And essentially I turned into a bully, right? I mean, I turned into something that I really didn't like. And wow, right? I mean, you think the last thing I want to do is make people feel the way I feel. But when I think you're young, you don't know what to do with that. And that's kind of what happened to me. And I'll tell you, I'm certainly not proud of those years. And I hit, I think 12, 13. And this like incredible wave of like guilt, this remorse just washed over me. Like I could see what I was doing. I was intimidating people just because I didn't like myself, right? Because I didn't like how I was being treated, so I treated people badly. Well, I'll tell you this. There was a little bit of a silver lining there, because when I realized what I was doing, that it was kind of this ugly cycle, I started looking at my bullies in a different way. I thought, wow, you must really not be happy with yourself that you have to pick on me. It just like all of a sudden I was like, wow, wait a minute. I see what I'm doing to other people, which I stopped, like I'm not doing that anymore. But I thought, wow, you must be hurt, right? You must be unhappy at home with your family life or your school life or whatever. I don't know what's going on with you, but that you have to pick on me to make yourself feel better. I feel sorry for you. And that's actually helped me throughout my entire adult life, because I'd like to sit here and tell you that bullies go away, right? Whenever you get to high school, when you get to college, when you're out in the adult world, there's always going to be somebody who is just miserable. And they might pick on you. They might just not like you for any reason. I've certainly started jobs where, as a full-grown adult, and I'm like, hey, I'm Angela, and immediately thought, okay, this person's not going to like me, and they're going to pick on me. That's okay. You know why? I feel sorry for you. I feel like you're probably not happy, and I am happy. So whenever you start to pity the bully, it kind of takes away the power a little bit. Some other things I wanted to talk about. Oh, yes. I think if I could have done something differently as a young person, one of my biggest, I think, missteps was that I did keep it to myself, right? I was so embarrassed that this was happening to me that I didn't tell anyone. I certainly didn't tell my parents, because I thought they would yell at me, right? I thought they thought it'd be my fault. I didn't tell my friends because I thought it makes me look weak or I'm a pushover. I didn't tell anybody. And that's why I got so angry. Don't do that. You are not alone. I mean, if somebody's messing with you, if somebody is, picking on you or pushing you around or making you feel small, go find somebody to tell. Your parents, your friends. I would just blanket that. If I could print it on newspaper, I'd be like, this is what's happening to me. I just want to get it out there. What can I do to stop it, right? Don't keep it to yourself. You're not alone. And then speaking of you're not alone, you're really not alone. You might not have a hamster here like I do, but you know, through this whole doll collecting thing on YouTube, which has been so amazing, so life-changing for me, I've met so many people, and we share this amazing common bond. And man, I mean, if you didn't think you had a squad, I mean, we might be virtual, but this squad is global, baby. I mean, we are thousands of people strong, and we would never do anything crazy like throw our dolls at you, but because we love our dolls and you're not worth it. But I'm just saying that you are not alone. We are here for you. You can talk to any of your virtual friends too. Think about us, right? Share what you're going through. I feel like I'm rambling a little bit now, but this is very near and dear to me. And I've put it off for a while because obviously I'm emotional a little bit. And I'm so happy my hamster's here because, man, this is not easy to talk about. But I do want you to know that you're not alone. I want you to go out and tell somebody if somebody's picking on you. And just consider that in the scheme of things, this is just a small window of your life. This is just a small snapshot of what's to come, which is going to get better. It can get better. And I think that's it. Right? I think I did okay. Did I do okay? Did I? Okay. My cameraman's like, oh, she's losing it. She's rambling now. All right. Well, anyway, I'd love for you to share your experiences if you're comfortable, obviously. I mean, this is a public forum in a lot of senses, and that makes me realize that this is a public forum and my business is all out there now. But please share your tips, what you've done to overcome. Always love to hear from you guys, and we will talk soon. Thanks.